Hey, good morning. I think I forgot something here. Hey, there we are. I did forget something. Here we go. Hey, Minnie. You gonna come see us too? There we go. There we go, that's better. Come on. Come on. There she is. There's Minnie. We got everybody here today. Cat Butt, yes, we got the most important one here. We got Kiba. Come on. Oh, she's nervous because it wobbles. The little cat tower wobbles a little bit, so she's nervous about jumping on it. Where do you think you're going? Let me save my bottle of water here. Huh? What? Well, you want your spot in the sunshine? Is that what it is? You like your spot in the sunshine better? I don't blame you, buddy. There you go, if you need to go. Eternal Grudge, hey! Good morning, you met us at Artist Alley. You got 4 mugs and using 1 right now for coffee. Nice, I love it. Well, this is where they all start out. And that was Kiba. He was our official supervisor. Hey, girl. Come on. And this is Minnie. Official supervisor number 2. But they have been they've been outside most of the morning because we've been gone, so they haven't gotten to go outside and roam around. So they've had a bit of cabin fever. But I got back. I hope Eternal Grudge. I don't know if you had to travel very far for TwitchCon, but I hope you have had a bit of time to recover. I flew back yesterday, so I got to relax a little bit last night. But now it's time to get back to work because I've got another show in 2 weeks. So one thing I'm doing is right now I'm going to fill up a kiln, and that's the kiln that you see there. I'm going to fill that up for a bisque, which is the first firing that everything has to go through, and then later on in the week we'll be glazing a lot of things and then processing it through the kiln again. I'll also be throwing a few more things today. I want to restock on a couple of the mugs, the mug phrases that we did sell out of at TwitchCon. So it was a very successful show for us. It was I think it was very well attended. I think definitely much better than last year. I think there was just a lot more things for people to do this year. Yeah, you had 2 flights to get home. Wow. Yes, it's not too bad, but you're happy to be home. Yes, yes. So what I'm going to do to get things over to the kiln is I'm going to put things on this board. I can usually fit like 14 to 16 mugs at a time here, and that's a good weight and a good just kind of amount for me to maneuver through a door and get over to the kiln, because I've got a wall here. I've got to get to the other side of the wall to get to my kilns, and part of that, like, we have, instead of having it just as a big open room, which is what it started out as, we put a wall up between the kiln rooms and where we make everything to try to contain the heat for when the kilns are on, because otherwise, I mean, it is still summer here. I know, like, I got very spoiled for a few days in San Diego. Colleen, good morning. Hey, and thank you for the resub. Yeah, I've got very spoiled with it being cool. Well, for me, much cooler. Even when it was warm, the humidity wasn't as bad. So coming back like yesterday, it feels good here right now, but definitely like I've got to get used to sweating again because it's just part of it. Like it's so humid here. It was like 91 when I came back here, and humid, so, and rainy. So though it did rain once while we were in San Diego. It like rained Friday morning or Saturday morning when we were like coming in, And so I'm like, oh wow, I guess do they get rain like every day here or something? He's like, no, this is like a crazy fluke. I'm like, oh, okay. A little craft room. Hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. Whoa. A little craft room. Good morning. Hey, Zero and Glitch, Mary, Clue, Cat Dad. Welcome. We do have cats in here. They may make another appearance. Kiba left me, and Minnie is like just going back and forth from in and out, checking on us to make sure we're still here. Mary, thank you for the follow. You popped over from the craft room to come and say hi. Yes, thank you. Hey, Ems. And Jay, yeah, welcome everybody. So, a little craft room. What were you doing today? What have you been working on? I'm going to grab some more of these. So these are pieces that I made before I left. So you may have seen me making some of these. These are our travel mugs. And these are for an order. They are completely air dried. So, you know, I can handle them very carefully. But if I were to like bump them, then they would just like shatter. Because they are just air dried clay. Like, I can't hold them by the handles at all. But they are going to go into the kiln. Yo, you were doing cross stitch. You have a few embellishments left to do, but you finished 36,000 base stitches. Whoa, how big is this thing? So I have done cross stitch. That's one of the few like fiber crafts I am familiar with, but I don't know how to translate 36,000 stitches. Is that 36,000 X's, or is that just like half of an X? 16 by 12. Wow. And so I will say they had a bit of crafty stuff going on at TwitchCon, and one of those things was they had a cross-stitch panel. They had a place where I think it was actually kind of like a class where you could get, like, they had X amount of people that they had brought supplies for, and seriously, they had to turn people away. At TwitchCon, they had to turn people away from the cross-stitching class. Like, I was very impressed by that. And I know, Quiltoni was there this year, and she actually, like, submitted proposals for quilting stuff and sewing classes, and she got turned down. So, like, I'm hoping that next year, since they did cross-stitch, and they did crochet, and they did, like, a sketching class, or not a class, but it was like a meetup, like an art meetup, and since they, every crafting thing they did was full, and they had to turn people away. I'm hoping they'll offer more content like that next year. $14 count? I have to remember what that means. Is that the size of the canvas? Like, at what point does it become needlepoint versus cross stitch? But yeah, I was like impressed that there was like cross stitch content, but also that the class sold out. So I think everything was very well attended. Craft room, you have to go and teach a chemistry lesson. Well, good luck. Thank you so much for stopping by. Alright, so this is... How many did we fit on here? This is travel mugs, and we've got 12, 15, 17. Because they're a bit skinnier than the mugs. And I'm going to document this. I'm trying to document... like everything I put in the kiln, so I can go back and say, oh yeah, I definitely made enough of those, and now I've just got to find them in here. Or did I make that already? Yes, I did. It's been through the bisque. What's today? The 24th. Said I had 17 of the, they're all the same one. Yeah. All right. Yeah, 14 or 22 is the number of squares per square inch or holes per square inch. Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't realize there were so many different ones. Yeah, and I was thinking that the finer you get, I guess the closer to needlepoint it gets. But needlepoint includes embroidery embellishments, and you don't need to count. Cross stitch is pretty much just X's and very little embroidery, and the space is based all on the count of stitches. Yeah. Sylvanius, hey, you're happy to report the mug made it back to the UK safe. Yay! You actually just sent a tweet to show how good it looks in your collection. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. All right, so guys, wish me luck. I'm about to go around the world here, go to the other side of the wall with my board. People tell me that this looks a bit nerve-wracking, but it's okay. But just wish me luck. No tripping over cats or other things in here. I'll meet you at the kiln. And then I just set it on the edge of the kiln, and then we'll fill this in. Oh, there's Kiba. My goodness. Here, you can see the floor, and there's the cat. He's just sitting over there. There we go. I was making sure the camera actually worked and wasn't frozen again, but it does. That's perfect. Here we go. Who needs to see the kiln? So usually, like when the kilns are on, or not really, like when they're cooling down, Kiba will be over here laying on the floor next to the kilns because it's warm. But I'm gonna put some things in the kiln here. But we're right next to our back door, and so he's got him a chair. He's looking outside. Hopefully he won't fall off of said chair. But with a bisque, this is the first firing, you can have the pieces touch without worrying about them. Like, they're not going to stick together or anything. So that's what I'm going to do. And Minnie's outside chasing lizards. Get my stilts set up. So I've got a lot of travel mugs, so this first layer is going to be kind of tall. Because I wanted to get all my travel mugs out of the way, so I wouldn't like have to try to rush them. Kiba ain't going anywhere. There we go, there's our elaborate cat cam. But this is Kiba, our studio supervisor. But I've got travel mugs, and I've got Tankards and 10-ounce mugs. We do have an ad about to start in about 2 minutes. So if you would like to sub to the channel to avoid the ads, that is one perk you get. Most importantly, though, if you sub to the channel, you're helping us keep the cats in kibble. Because as you can tell, Kiba is wasting away to nothing. He hasn't had as many treats as he's used to these past few days while we've been gone. So you can tell he's skin and bones. And actually, Minnie shared that with me when I came back, that, you know, she was very adamant that she had not had treats in 5 days. Because I came back and I bribed her with a fancy feast. And she immediately came to the treat spot and said, you know what, it is almost treat time as well. I think I can fit definitely one more on here. Let's see. That's kind of hanging off a bit, isn't it? Let's see if we can compress these any. This gives me a chance too to see what I've got here. So I think they're all the same, except I've got a one of the Ren Fair mugs, and then yeah, there we go. And I've got one custom order, so let me write this down. All right, and then uh, 16 and 17 is 33. All right. All right, here we go again. So this is the biggest kiln that I have. It's a little bit bigger than this kiln, which Here, we'll bring this back over here so you can actually see what you're doing, and probably just get a good shot at the back of my head or whatever. But so I'm putting these in here. It's one of the, I guess it's not quite as old as my glaze kiln, but I think because it is so big, it always, like, it sometimes has a hard time getting up to, like, the glaze temperature. So I just started using it for bisque. Because I can fit a lot in it, and it, you know, doesn't have to run forever. And so in this one, knock on wood, I hardly ever have to change out the elements because we're not going to a very high temperature. Speak of the elements, let's make sure you're a bit more stable there. Here we go. And so, like I said, here we can touch these next to each other. They could even touch the edge of the kiln if I needed to. But it doesn't really need to be that tight. If they, in the glaze, if anything touches, you know, anything else, then it's going to stick because the glaze melts. And if the glaze touches, like, one of the elements, like if it's way too close and the element pops out a bit and gets some glaze on it, that element is ruined. And I have to replace it. So that can get to be kind of an expensive mistake. Let's see. I want to put those there. I've only got a limited amount of clearance over here before I hit my thermocouple, and I'm thinking about how tall I want that to be. It may just end up being one layer of travel mugs here. Because I do have a lot of travel mugs that I need to put in here, so. Okay. And so, 4, 1, 2, so maybe 10 more travel mugs, and then cat. You bloody. Glitch Witch, oh no, trying to cross-stitch with popsicle frozen fingers isn't easy, right? Doing anything with frozen fingers is not easy. So what is the glaze temperature? So the bisque is, I'm going to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, and when I glaze, it goes up to 2232, very precise, 2232 degrees. Now, I was going to put something else up here. Where did it go? There it is. There we go. This is a tile with some sandpaper on it. And I need this because some of these travel mugs, like when I'm throwing them, if you can like see how level that is, it's not that level. There we go. So what I'm going to do is very carefully and very gently, we're going to sand that down because you don't want to press down too hard or the rim can crack. But that levels it out. When and sometimes it's easier to do that than to try to trim it off when it's really soft. So I'm going to set that there. And I've got a couple more of these that needed a little bit of attention. But no, TwitchCon was very good, and every person I talked to in Artist Alley thought it went really well. And that is where I spent most of my time. I got to, actually got to play Magic. So of all the gaming cons I've been to this year, this is the fourth one, or the cons where there was a gaming, element, because Dragon Con's not just gaming, but they had places set up doing Magic and stuff. This is the first one where I actually got to play some Magic events. There was a pre-release going on, and so I played in that and had a lot of fun. Sylvanius, it was great, but your social battery is at minus 100. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I had to like work myself back up into coming back and streaming, because it's like streaming is a little bit different than being in person, but it still takes a lot out of you. It's like I call myself a pottery cave troll for a reason. There's one magic card from the previous set that I saw. Like, I had seen it a little bit, but like I said, I didn't do much with the previous magic set, which was Bloomborough. I think I did like a draft or two on Arena, and that's it. But I got some of it at this show, because one of the events they did was a chaos draft, or a chaos sealed actually. So they give you just random packs that have nothing to do with each other, and you open them and build a deck. So it's ridiculous, and it's always horrible, because you know there's no synergy with anything, but it's fun. And with not having played much in the past couple of years, like a lot of the cards I'd never seen before, I just played them. There's one card that I need to get. It's either an uncommon or a common, so it's not expensive at all. But like the previous set, Bloomborough was all about animals and different creature types. So you have like otters and frogs and raccoons and lizards and bats and mice and all this and that. Raccoons, though. Raccoons. One of the cards is called... It's either called Teapot Slinger, Teapot Chucker, something like that. I'll have to look it up again. But it's a raccoon like throwing a teapot at somebody. And the flavor text on this card says, "It's porcelain, not stoneware, you uncultured swine." And so that just makes me laugh. It makes me smile so much. And so I just need that card. I need to get it like blown up and put it in the background here, because it's wonderful. So I'm gonna track down, like, you know, it probably costs 50 cents, like a foil of that card. Junkyard, hey! Welcome back as well. Have you recovered from everything? I'm going to grab a few more of those. So Junkyard had to put up with us all weekend. We actually had his woodworking pieces in our booth. And since Daniel drove out there, Daniel like picked him up on the way, so he and Wonder Hamster were stuck in a car together for 6 hours. You slept good last night. How's Hamster? He made it to Santa Rosa last night, and so he's on the road again. But he's good. He's good. He got some rest last night. I had to fly out yesterday at 6:45, so everybody got up early. And it was all my fault. So right now, putting things in the kiln. These are things I made last week before I left. And Kiba is there, of course, guarding the kiln. Yeah, I am so glad it's back in San Diego. No, this is... And someone told me that it was going to be there for the next 4 or 5 years. I don't know if they contracted it for 5 years and this was year 1, or if they contracted it for 6 years, but it's going to be there for a while. How many did I say I needed? I think I said I only needed 10. 3, 6, 9, there's 11. So I need to get some of the smaller pieces to go up there now. Go over the kiln. This is the real kiln Tetris. We call putting things into the kiln sometimes kiln Tetris. Sometimes I call glazing kiln Tetris, but this is where you get to like actually like stack things as and condense things as much as you can. Oh, okay, that was in opening ceremonies. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think we were still setting up at that point. 5 years, next 5 years, okay. Good. Oh no, it's not. Really? Okay, so I didn't know the dates. October? It's gonna cross with something. Everything's in October. Ugh. Well, we'll just plan for it. Oh, really? They had said during an interview that, really the only reason they went to Vegas is because they were too late to get into San Diego. Oh, the cost of having to reprint all the signs, etc. for Vegas was prohibitive to do it every year. Huh. Well, so they have different artwork every year. So I assumed they printed the signs. I was like watching people like peel up carpet and take down some things, and I was like, I wonder when they take down the signs, do they throw them away? Do they store them? What do they do with them? I wanted an Artist Alley sign. Because I thought about that. I'm like, well, if they're going to change out the artwork every year, then they probably wouldn't keep them. But there are some signs that they probably keep every year. Are the Padres playing in October? Oh, really? I didn't realize there was a game. Well, October is usually like is when, like, unless you're in the playoffs or whatever, or tournaments, it's done. That's the only, the only reason I know that is because Daniel always says, well, no, there's no baseball games. There's never a Cubs baseball game in October. It's in October. If the Cubs are playing in October, then there's a lot of happy people. 17th through the 19th. It's either going to be the weekend before or the weekend of. I have to see which weekend. Is that like the third? That could be the second weekend, but it could be the third also. I don't know. But, all right, let me go over and put some of these things in the kiln. Again, wish me luck. I know there's one cat I'm not going to trip over. Again, he has pillows. He has cat beds. But he prefers a chair. Here we go. So I'm going to fill in the rest of this stuff. I don't know if you can see my how I have things just set on top of the ledge of the kiln. I'm going to go here. Let's see how many of these I can fit in here. Oh, I didn't count. Oh, are they all the same? How many have I put in there? 4, 5, Okay, there's 11. Remember that there's 11 travel mugs here, and they're all the same. So I'm gonna mark that down in my phone. There's 11 travel mugs. Okay. And then there's 9 of these little mugs. And these are going to set on here like this. I don't set them like that because I'm afraid that it will like cause just a little bit too much tension there while they're heating up. So I always like to load a kiln with mugs mouth to mouth or butt to butt when I stack them. And very gently. And I go like 3 high is as much as I'm really comfortable stacking these because it is raw clay. And I don't want the weight of it to break everything else. That is the only really downside to this clay body that I've noticed since I've been using it is when I was using porcelain. Porcelain is much stronger in the greenware stage, though not necessarily any different in bisqueware. So once it's been fired, it's just the same. And that's one reason I started using it at first, because it was so much stronger in, this is called greenware when it's completely air dried, because I was making so many of the yarn bowls and the porcelain, I had less breakage with the porcelain, and I could stack them 5 high with the porcelain. But with these, with the yarn bowls and with mugs, I really only feel comfortable going 3 high. So I will put another shelf in there. He's like, you keep disturbing me. I'm trying to nap. All right, what were my numbers? 11 and 9. 44. I got 10-ounce mugs. It was all Virginia Creek. That was 9, okay. That is the 3rd weekend. Yeah, it's going to be the same weekend. We've done it before! So what is the name of the yarn show? It's called the New York Sheep and Wool. And so we've got about a month to go. But a lot of people just casually refer to it as Rhinebeck because it's in Rhinebeck, New York. But the official name of it is the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, and it's one of the 2 largest in the country, if it is not the biggest. I feel like no, they're both big. They're both big. Like that, Maryland is in the spring, and then Rhinebeck is in the fall. I feel like Maryland is spread out more, whereas Rhinebeck, you don't have to walk as far. All right, let's get some more of these in here. Is this all of the Virginia Creek, or are they? No, I see them right there. Okay. One of these days, we're going to get out to Bridgeport, California. Because that's where the Virginia Creek settlement is very misleading at first, because it's actually in California. Ooh, glitch! You can dye. You can dye your cross-stitch fabric. Ooh, I've seen a lot of people doing that, and a lot of people selling pre-dyed cross-stitch fabric. So, why would you dye your fabric? Just like maybe to have a different background color than white? Rhinebeck has more permanent buildings on the fairgrounds. It does, yes. Which is probably why it is then so spread out. So I don't know if do you have to pay to get into Rhinebeck as a guest, like just as a visitor? Do they ticket at the door? So that maybe you can count how many people come through? What is the most requested item from this weekend's show? Well, we had the most mugs, so like they definitely were the best seller. We went through most of the potion bottles, and we only brought 2 tankards back at all. But I would have to say, like, of the things I specifically brought for TwitchCon, we sold out of the mod mugs on like day 2. So I probably could have sold at least 10 more, and I brought 15. We only came back with like 2 or 3 of the partner mugs, so they sold well. I mean, because I brought 15 of each of those, the staff, the mod, and the partner, because I thought those would be the 3 big ones that we'd sold out of before. So the mod was definitely the biggest seller. Yeah, you sold out of the coasters and the keychains of those. Yeah. Colin, you need to order a mod mug. Yes. And I can put your name on the back of it. Hey Art, the mod bugs look amazing. Yes, no, though they were all fun. Yeah. Of course, Daniel still has all of them. I can't show any of the leftovers off, but we do have pictures of them on the website because I actually remembered to take pictures of them this year before I left. So if they're not up, they will be at some point. You know how we are. Eventually, we'll get there. And we actually took a couple of orders for some of the mod mugs with like screen names on the back, so I'll be making more of them. I really don't think he's gonna get back tonight. If he does, he'll be like back tomorrow morning, like noonish or something like that. But if he makes it, he makes it. But I'm not gonna count on that because there's always like traffic and stuff. So. No, he's on a timeline because he wants to go to a concert this weekend, so he wants to get back and go to his there's a Louder Than Life rock concert. All right, let's see. 21, and they're all the Virginia Creek. So that makes 30. Just trying to document what I've got in here. He played some of it in the car. It was loud, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those like concerts that he'll wear like earplugs for. Adoran, hey, good morning. Welcome. Y'all wish me luck here. I'm going back over to the kiln where Kiba is guarding it very carefully. Keeping an eye on things. No, so like the specific Twitch stuff that I took to the show went well, and so did the cats. The cat stuff has been selling like extremely well everywhere. The fluff you fluff and fluffer has sold out at every show, so I need to make some more of those. But like at our other shows, I think we sold a little bit of everything as far as the fandoms. And we got asked for a couple of different video game things, but I think mostly some of just the newer stuff. Like we got asked for some Warhammer stuff because that just came out again. And of course, you know, the Lord of the Rings stuff is always popular. Has anybody watched any of the new season of the Rings of Power? I don't know how much of it is out. I remember it like debuted while we were at Dragon Con. So I could have put the camera back on the kiln, couldn't have? But who wants to see that when you can look at a cat, a sleeping cat? Gonna do, I think, one more small mug and then put some kiln shelves in. Colleen, you started it. You don't know to see where you are. All right, I'm gonna put one more over here. I'll show you what it looks like so far. So we got one right there, and I think I'm just going to leave this. Well, that's got plenty of room, so I guess it... Going to err on the side of caution. Because the thermocouple, which is, I don't know if you can see the thing sticking out over here, it's what tells the computer on the kiln to heat up or cool down. It tells it what temperature it's at. If the shelf is touching it, it's not going to ruin anything, but it might give a false reading because the shelf is going to be warmer than the air. Just like the pots, just like when I'm unloading the kiln, if the air temperature says it's 300 degrees in here, the pots are probably going to be at least 350 because it's ceramic and they retain heat. That's what they're supposed to do. So the shelves are also made of clay. They're made of the same refractory as the stilts. You gonna stay this time? There we go. And they're not heavy, they're just a little bit awkward when you're trying to place them and not hit anything. There we go. That's good. And see if there's anything else I want to put on here that can use that little extra space. There may not be much. Looking for something flat. Flat pieces to put in the kiln to save space. That's okay. don't think I'm going to put that in. I'll grab some of these spoon rests. And so, like I said, with this, you can set things on top. Things can be touching. All right, here we go. Okay, and then I'll be able to stack these with plenty of room. Okay. Oh, Colleen, it's been interesting, really. Hey, Mona. Good afternoon. You finished in just 2 days? Yes. Well, how many hours is it? I forget how many total hours it is. Because, you know, I just listen to them. Oh, no, let me see. There it is. There's the information about it. Title details. "17 hours. Yeah, so it was shorter. For her, that's a short book. Yeah, whereas the others tended to be closer to like 25 or 30 hours. Yeah. So I'm going to do some more of these travel mugs. Just seeing if they needed to be leveled out at all. Was it, like, Colin, you're talking about the discovery of witches, it ended when it was getting really good? Yeah. No, like, I don't know if that's what you were talking about or not, but like that, I want to know more of the history. I want to know more of like the history of the witches side and the lore and the how things work. And it doesn't hurt that I've also been listening to a lot of podcasts and different things about like folklore and the history of the stories behind witches and why, you know, what were the real life events around the meanings of all these stories. And and then continuing to talk about the discovery of witches. You know, that's one of the things that I think I like I like her world building, and I enjoy a good world building, and especially around like magical systems. So that's one of my favorite parts. Here we go. That's better. Yeah, her narrator is great. I have it fresh on my mind. What is it? Is it Jennifer Ikeda? I listened to Jennifer Ikeda on another audiobook now, but I can't think of what it is. I'll have to go back and look at her portfolio to see which one it was. But it was like, but I immediately recognized her voice. So, Colleen, have you ever read any of Neil Stephenson's books? Like your comment about like it ended just as it was getting really good is like his writing style. Like he mostly does these just standalone stories, and one of them was the first one I read was Seven Eves, and it's it's a sci-fi, which is not usually what I go for, but it was recommended to me. And then they have one that, and then another one is I think it's just called Dodo, but it's an acronym for like a time travel organization, and someone he was working with, they're actually doing a sequel to that one, so I'm very excited about. But that's like the entirety of the stories. It's like they figure everything out, and you expect it to go on to something else, and then that's it. You've had that for ages, the Seven Eves or the Dodo. Both of them are very, very good. Like, I recommend them, but that's like, you wish there was more, but nope, they're like, I'm done. That's all I wanted to do. Oh, I can fit two more on here. Pet the cat! I know, he's getting annoyed with me because I won't leave him alone to sleep. But hey, BW Crochet. Bruised Weasel. All right, well, okay, I'm going to count these now because I've got a mixture of these. So let's see. $11 and $11 and 9. 11 and 10. And then let me do these just in case. Yeah, it was only 9. Okay. $53. Okay. Hi, Erdalee. Yeah, good morning. Bobiverse. I've had those recommended. I've heard a lot of people talk about those, and then the Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've downloaded, so I was gonna give that one a try, but I've not read any lit RPG. The Bobiverse. So you've read the first one then? But I am doing good. We just got back from TwitchCon yesterday, and so trying to load up some kilns to get more things processed. Getting back to work. Trying not to trip over cats. So here's the room I left in the kiln. Now I wonder if I have enough height here. I can do that, yeah. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm stacking these rim to rim. Which is a lot safer than like trying to put them in the kiln like with, you know, one inside the other. That always leads to breakage. There we go. So I can fit 4 more on this layer, and I'm pretty sure I can fit like travel mugs and 10 mugs for a bit. Let's see how many more I have of them. You've gotten through the first 4. Okay. Okay, now I see you can't really see what I was doing. Sorry. Erdely, you've gotten in trouble. You can't stop thinking about anything but trying pottery. Oh no. You've got the bug. How long did it take to fire both times? So this kiln, with as much as I'm putting in it, and as big as it is, it'll take, it takes around 7 hours. Around 7 hours. If I have really big things and I want to take it slower, then it'll take 9 hours. Because I'll heat it up really, really slow, but if it's a bunch of mugs, I can usually fire it in about 7 hours. And then, and that's how long it takes to get up to temperature, and then it shuts off, and within 24 hours of starting it, I can usually open it back up, because it's not going to as high of a temperature. The glaze takes 8 hours. If everything's running good, if my elements are starting to go bad, they'll take 9 or 10 hours. Aura, hello. Yeah, good morning. Welcome from YouTube. This is a multi-stream. I'm just loading up my kiln. I've just been to TwitchCon this weekend. Fight Lady, good morning. Needs to be ground down a little bit. It's not quite even. You saw some people glazing before the bisque firing, but you hadn't found any info about it. Does it depend on the glazes or what? No, usually if you're gonna do like a single firing, so there's a couple of things that could have been going on. If you're talking about like just adding color, you can use colored slips, which is just colored clay, to add color to a pot before you bisque fire it. Same thing with underglazes. Underglazes can be applied to to wet clay, to the greenware like this, to even bisqueware or glazed pieces. So it can be applied at any time, though it does have to then be fired. Some people, like, especially when working with kids stuff, like, will try to do a single firing, which means, you make small things and maybe have kids paint them with underglazes for color, and then you maybe paint on or dip them in clear glaze really quick, let that dry, and then fire it in a single firing. And the main thing about a single firing is that you can't use too much glaze. Like, if you applied all the glaze that I apply to these things, everything would just dissolve and fall apart, because you're adding so much water back to the clay, and the water dissolves the clay. But that single firing is good, especially when you're doing small projects and such, because it's just like a thin clear glaze and it's done. But you have to fire it very, very slowly. So you have to basically do a bisque firing schedule up into a glaze. So that means like 200 degrees an hour for the first like 5 hours, like super, super slow. So I don't know if people were doing a single firing or if they were just applying underglazes or what when you saw it. But so there are different things you can do. Tara Wheel, hello. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm going to grab some more of these. I'm checking these over, and then we're putting them in the kiln. We're going to set some things on fire. Yeah, single firing is what I've seen used, like done mostly, like I said, with kids' classes and activities, because you might only have one sitting with them, and so you let them make something, add a little bit of color to it, and then once it's all dry, clear glaze it really quick and then go on. But one of the reasons so many of us bisque fire our pieces now is because there's less chance of explosions. And if you want to add like a lot of glaze or spend a lot of time doing different decorating techniques, it really helps to have them bisque fired, because even though it goes up to only 1800 degrees, it solidifies things. You can hold them by the handle. It's the clay is still porous, so the glaze will stick because the water will absorb into the clay. And in my opinion, you have a lot less breakage that way. And this is a piece of sandpaper here I've got on a level tile, so I'm not putting pressure on this, so just very, very carefully wet sanding that so that it's more level. And it's much, much easier to do this now once it's dry than try to like level it off when it's still wet on the wheel. Do I ever hand build, or do I do only throwing? And how was TwitchCon? Hyper Goobers, hello. Yeah, good morning. So I do some hand building, usually when things require it. So hand building, I could say, you know, I've got a handle on every piece here. These medallions I make with a slab, so technically that is hand building. But for like, I make like my odd shaped platters if I need something in an oval, or my like square lasagna dishes or bread bakers. So I do hand building for like my Kentucky platters, Tennessee platters, things that are not round. TwitchCon was good. I got back yesterday, and Daniel Wonder Hamster is still on his way back. All right, so I think that's all my travel mugs. Let me see. I think it is. So I'm going to grab a few of these Virginia Creek ones and put in. And then take these over to the kiln. But first, we count. 17, because I'm documenting what I'm putting in the kiln. 29 of those altogether. Fight Lady Fight, Wonder Hamster, that's my husband Daniel, that's his screen name. So if you ever see Wonder Hamster in here, sometimes he comes in and chats, sometimes he's signed in as my account, so he'll come and chat as if you ever see Play in the Mud chatting on here, it's, you know, that's Daniel. But he is on his way back now. He drove out there, so because it's in California and San Diego and we are in Kentucky, it's hard to get the pottery out there, because a lot of people in Artist Alley, whether you've got prints or crocheted squishables, you know, lots of people come in and set up because they've had have carry-ons or suitcases or whatever. And I like to say, yeah, pottery doesn't squish that well, or if it does it once. Pottery will squish once, and that's it. And then you have puzzle mugs. Hyper. I love how these are looking so far. Gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so these are the travel mugs. Kind of showing how much they will change. Let's see. So this is the raw clay. They've shrunk a little bit. They've shrunk maybe like an eighth of an inch. But this is what they will end up being once they're glaze fired. They shrink it a little bit more. So overall they'll shrink about a ½ inch, but that's what the size of the finished piece. But so yeah, I think so. Daniel drove out he left last Monday, kind of took his time, and then I flew out on Thursday because Thursday was setup day. Did the show. I flew back yesterday because the show ended Sunday afternoon or Sunday night, 6 o'clock, and then we actually got out pretty quick, and so then he's been driving back. All right, so I'm gonna go over to the kiln because we are in an ad break right now. So if I trip and fall, nobody can see it. Here we go. Kiba's still over here guarding everything. So I'll try to, so you can see a little bit better of like what I'm doing here. Very carefully stacking these. There we go. And then, yeah, I got plenty of room. I don't think I can stack these too high over here on the other side, but I can definitely do the 10-ounce mugs on top there. So that's what I'm going to do. And the bisque firing, like, it doesn't actually have to be super precise. Like, some people fire to 1800, which is what I'm doing. Some people fire up to 1900, which leaves the pieces just a little bit less porous. Some people think that is better, gives you a better result. I like the bit more absorbency. And I've had it happen before, like if something goes wrong with the kiln and it just wouldn't reach temperature, like, as long as the pieces are fired and they're not, you know, they don't have all the impurities in them a little bit, they're okay. Look, I think it's raining. I got my back door open here. Just looked outside and it's getting dark. All right, and so that's, well, I've got a little bit of space here, which we can stack things too high if I need to. I could probably stack the, the 10-ounce mugs 3 high there. But here's the real star of the show. There we go. Yes, your face is squished. You've been laying there so long. He freeze, or is he just watching me go? No, okay, the camera's not frozen. He was just he was just frozen. Oh, if you get to become a mod, then you need to get a mod mug. Yes, you do. All right, let's see what else we want to put in here. I want to get all of the Virginia Creek things, I think. And these are the 10-ounce mugs, so these are the little bitty ones. So I know I had 3 in that last one, so let's do that before I forget. Here we go. And also, TwitchCon was good. I actually got to play a little bit of Magic. I won about as many as I lost, but it was fun. I enjoy the limited formats, which are like the this weekend there was the pre-release for the next set coming out, so they just give you 6 packs and you make a deck with that, so you don't have to bring anything with you. They weren't doing any drafting, probably because it's just was easier to have the sealed events go off. Get a few more. Oops. I can put a few of these in there. I actually don't know how many I need. These guys, so I made some of these before I left. These are the air plant pots or egg separators. So you can put your air plant in the top, or you can even probably put whatever you want, put a little bit of dirt in there. It's probably not all going to fall out. Maybe not all of it. And but they're really fun to put air plants in. And then if you wanted to, you could use them as an egg separator. You know, crack the eggs in there and pour out the whites. There they are. These, I just love making these little faces. But when I was playing, like well, one of the last games I was in, like I was playing against somebody who was like, I don't know if they were a professional Magic player, but they played a lot and they were a serious Magic player, right? And so, and by the luck of the draw, which is what it always is, right? I got every good card in my opening hand, and I just like blew through and just, you know, was able to stop everything he was doing, and I won soundly, and it was good and it was fun, you know, for me. But this poor guy, after, he's like, this is only the 3rd game I've lost this entire weekend, and you know, just. He kindly left off. I lost to a girl, you know. But whether he was thinking that or not, I don't know. But it was just funny. He's like, this is only the 3rd game I've lost this weekend. And it was to me. Is that right? $17, yep. 50, that's what I need. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 air plant pots. You buddy. Woo. back to the kiln. So I'm gonna try to get under here without bumping into anything. It is so humid. I don't know if it's because I was in San Diego for 5 days and I'm like, oh wow, it's nice and cool out here and I can walk without sweating, but I'm just like standing here and it's just, it feels like it's about, I don't know if it's actually about to rain or if it's just humid. Alright, and I'm gonna stack them right here. Alright, so next, I know I've got some tankards and some of the 20-ounce mugs. Hyper Goobers, thank you for the follow. Goobers, what was I winning? So I played in Magic the Gathering. So I did, I was in the tabletop section of the gaming, which I was impressed too that at TwitchCon they put the tabletop gaming on the main exhibitor floor. So in previous years they'd had it like in its own room, like with some like the panels and stuff, like where you would go to listen to somebody speak, and they had it in a small room by itself. But I guess they've had over the years they've had such good turnouts that they actually gave them a spot on the show floor, which let them spread out and hold more events. And they almost all of their events went off. Like they, I don't think they had to cancel anything. They actually sold out of though they used all their product they had brought for the like Learn to Play Magic, which I thought was interesting. So they did well too, and so I played in like the pre-releases for the current set coming out. So it was a limited event. They give you 6 packs of the new set, and you build a 40-card deck and then play 3 games. So I played, I did like 2 of those, and I did 2 of the Chaos events. So I think I did a total of 4. Yeah, 4 events. Tankards. Yeah, these are for the Louisiana Ren Fest, which is the same thing the travel mugs are for. They've ordered they wanted everything. They wanted 10-ounce, 20-ounce tankards and travel mugs. So that's what we are gonna send them. Yeah, this is like the 4th event we've done since the summer that has had a gaming element, because we did Origins and Gen Con, both which are gaming cons, and then Dragon Con, which is a little bit of everything, but they have a huge like gaming section of the show. So they ran events all weekend, but this is the first show where I've actually gotten to actually go do something. I guess I did one at Origins. I did one draft at Origins, but that was it. Do I have an even or odd number of these? Let's see. 10, 11. Let's do one more. Because I've got a plain one here, but... So I think I can stack these 2 high. And then I'll grab a couple more 10-ounce mugs. Yep. Goobers, you love using your air dry clay to create because it's so relaxing and extremely, like, it's nice and fun, yeah. Do we have our own local shop, or do I sell online, or perhaps both? So for us, we have our online shop. So if you go to the shop command, if you're on Twitch, it'll give you a link to our website. And then we do have our own shop here. So where I'm at in my studio right now, people can come in and purchase things, but we're a dirty studio. It's not super presentable, but we have a retail shop down in Nashville, Tennessee, which is only about an hour south of us, and Nashville is the closest big city to us because we are out in the middle of nowhere, which is why we can afford a building to have as a pottery studio. So yeah, we have a retail shop, we do online, and we travel to shows, and like for this order, we do wholesale as well. Okay, we got tankards. And all of these, so 11 of them are for LARF. LARF being Louisiana Renfest. And then got 1 extra. And then 10 ounce. Got 2 in this board. Art, thank you. All right, here we go. All right, so we got a little bit more space, so let's see if we want to put the rest of the 10-ounce mugs in here, or the 20-ounce mugs. And we must pay the kitty tolls. There he is. I won't disturb him this time. Oh, he's not asleep. His tail's twitching. Neuron, hello. I can still say good morning, but good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. I think I'm going to do some of the 10-ounce mugs. And so I should have left the camera over there. I think I can do 6 more stacks at least, so that'll be 18 pieces. Try to keep all the same ones together. like 5:30 in the UK. You're getting ready for the British Bake Off to start. Exciting. That's been going on forever, hasn't it? How long has that been? How many seasons does that have now? I mean, the Pottery Throwdown has, what, 6 or 7? So it's getting impressive as well. Alright, so how many do we have here? We got 4 more air plant pots. And then got a lot of individual ones here. So we got Slytherin. All right. So I'm trying to document everything I put in the kiln so I don't like lose anything. 15 seasons, wow. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. This might be the last one. If we'll see. I know I don't have 18 on here, I don't think. Or do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got more than 18. Okay. Let's see how many I can really fit then. How many stacks? Y'all want to see what I'm doing, or you want to see the cat? Okay, I've got 7 stacks here. He's like, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. Okay, so got room for 7 of these. Stacks, I mean. I'm going to put the air plant pots on the top because they are the lightest, because they don't have a handle. One short. All right. One short. We'll have to wait till next time. And this is where, like, I've got a little space at the top, and if I had more like spoon rests or flat things, I could set that on top. But I don't right now. So it's time to get this thing started. So we'll go, I'm going to put the lid down. Whoop. There's Kiba again. It's okay, that was meant to happen. I have to get one of the arms off of here that holds the lid up to get it down. Then line everything back up. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I do have to move. I have to move the camera. So because I got to get over to my control box. Yep, I'm just going to have to take a break for a second. I got to move a few things around. I have my two kilns sitting there next to each other, and I have a big control box in the middle where I can only power one at a time. Supervisor stretch, let's go. He's like, why can't you just sit here and pet me? It's like, you wake me up, pet me, and then by the time I get back to sleep, you come back and wake me up again. That's why I can't get a good nap in. But so I've got my kilns next to each other, and so I can only power one of them at a time, and I've got to get back there and flip my switch. So I'll be right back. I'm going to start this kiln, and then I'm going to come back and do a little bit of throwing because I have some clay already prepared, and I'm going to make I may make some mugs, but I also need to make some like small things like little bowls and like spoon rests and soap dishes and stuff. So I'll be right back. Don't you want a close-up look at my shop vac? This is where you're gonna sit all day, isn't it? I think I'm just gonna leave him there. Just leave the camera there. If y'all want the top-down camera, I'll put it on. Should have put that in a long time ago. See if I got all my tools here. So, so Italy, what clay would I recommend starting from? Like if you're doing wheel throwing, or if you're just starting to work with clay, I would recommend using a stoneware clay that has some grit in it, that has a little bit of a texture to it. The what I'm using right now is very smooth, and it's what I prefer to use. But when you're learning, like the good thing about having a little bit of grit is that it's much more forgiving when you're learning, and so the clay will stand up a little bit more on its own, rather than when it's smoother, when it doesn't have that grit, you have less time to work with it before it collapses. So that's why I say that. And that's usually like if you take a class, that's usually what you're going to be starting off with. So. Now what do I do first? So I've got, how many of these? 5, 10, 15, 20... like 35, 36 of those. I was thinking soap dishes and sponge holders. And then some more mugs, and then let me get these over here. And then maybe some more spoon rests and some of these small little bitty dishes. See what I can actually get done. Spook, hey! Spook, you got here just in time. You missed the loading of the kiln, so you missed all of the, like, board of anxiety. Because now I think of you every time I, like, carry the pieces over to the kiln. We, so I streamed a loading up of a bisque while talking about TwitchCon. But no, TwitchCon went really well. We had, you know, it feels great out there in San Diego. It was wonderful to be in San Diego. And then just, it was well attended. Met a lot of cool people. Met a lot of people that I'd only seen as a screen name. And we actually made a little bit of money, which is also a good thing. That's why one of the reasons why we went out there. Now, what am I making? First, I'm going to make some sponge holders, because those actually sell a little bit better than the soap dishes. Though now that I've said that, they will probably sell out of like soap dishes. But first, I'm going to do these. But I flew back in yesterday. Daniel is still on the road. a sponge to get that out of there. So I'm making a little top hat. Kiba is over guarding the kiln. I just started the bisque. So when did I start? I started at, we'll call it noon, but 11:45. 11:45-ish. Got it started. Now this will get a lip as well. So, but for the most part, I think I'm going to cut this off first and then put it on my board. And then make the lip. But we're going to cut a notch along those along these lines, so there'll be a hole there, so that you can put a sponge on there. Put a sponge in here, stand it up, and let it drain, instead of letting it fall to the bottom of the sink like I do at home. Because you'd think, since I make these things, I would use them. I always forget. What do I think sold best? Well, so we took mugs, tankards, and potion bottles. That's all we took. And mugs are always going to be the best seller. We sold the majority of the potion bottles. We're out of leather straps again for the potion bottles. They went really well and really quickly. So everything did well. The thing we sold out, this may not be anything, what we sold out of first was the mod mugs. So the things that I specifically made for TwitchCon, I made the different badges you can get. So like a partner badge, the purple check mark, the green sword for a mod. I made, I had some VIPs, and I made the artist badge. And so we sold those. The mod badge sold first. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Oh. And I think I just missed my apron when I wiped my hand clean. So that's not. That was good. Oh no, I didn't have time for mimic tankards. No, I didn't have time for any of those. Nope. No, I just took 24, maybe 36 tankards at most. It's probably closer to 30 of the tankards. But we only brought back 2, so that was good. They sold well. But we sold out of the mod badges. I made 15 of them, and we sold all of them by Saturday early. Like we sold most of them Friday. We sold out of the wrenches, the staff. Like those went well. Like somebody came in and posted it on there. I forget what it's called. They posted it where the Twitch staff communicate and can see, and somebody told them they have Twitch staff stuff on the floor, and they all came and bought them. So I love it. Girl painting, hello. It starts out looking like a butterbell. This one, the bottom part's a little bit wider. Did I not trim this off? Oh, I did not. Oh well. So I need to leave a little bit more clay on the next one. Here we go for the top part. So the things that I took for TwitchCon went really well. The like I said, the mod we completely sold out of, and the staff we sold out of, and we sold almost all of the partner badges. Those were the ones that did not go as quickly, but they still sold. They just didn't all sell the first day. The cat things went really well. We sold all of the, I think I took like 6 or 7 of the Fluff You, the Fluff and Fluffers. That's one of my new designs this year. and it's gone as well as it could have gone, because you never know, like, just because I think something is cute and funny doesn't mean everybody's gonna think it's cute and funny, but everybody else thinks it's cute and funny. I took a custom order for one of them, and instead of making the cat black, I'm gonna make it orange for their orange cat. Alright, so this is just going to be, again, looks like a, it's going to be modified. Once it dries a little bit, I'm going to cut the notches in the side. I don't know if I have one here to show you what it's going to look like. Yeah, we were busy. It wasn't like ridiculously busy, but we had a good steady like flow and crowd. I was very happy. It is definitely one of the best artist alleys. You know, a lot of shows will have an artist alley, and it will sometimes be the least visited section of a show. This one is good. They give us prime spots, and at TwitchCon, like, so much of the show floor is exposition and demos. So there were other, like, places on the show floor selling t-shirts and selling other things this year, but still, for the most part, the people in Artist Alley, that's really mostly the only place to spend your money. Besides going to like the loot cave for like your t-shirt and stuff. Well, let's trim it a little bit and then try it again. A girl painting, yes. You're German. You even struggle with time to time with like all the what did you say? Verb conjugation and word gender. Yeah, that's like English speakers. You know, English is so hard because, like, if you were to ask me to break down a sentence right now, I doubt I could do it. Like, I don't remember all the different parts. Oh, really? English is easy compared to German. Oh, no. Ah. Okay, I remembered to do that. Oh, okay, gotcha. We excuse me, we have one, the Whereas you have 7 different ones. Yeah. A lot of English words have German roots, yes. Am I making mugs with an attached plate for tricking people? No, I am making a sponge holder. So I will be cutting notches in these before they dry. So you can stand your sponge up in the center and let it drain, like when you're doing dishes or whatnot. So this is technically a double-walled vessel. That one got away from me a little bit. There we go. Boring. Yeah, one thing I'd love to do at TwitchCon, like it would be like a nightmare trying to figure it out, and especially if it's going to be the same time as another show next year, I couldn't do it. But if I could do it, I would love to do demos at TwitchCon. I think that would be fun. I think if they could get enough artists every day to do demos of whatever they're doing, so people could watch it, I think that would be a cool thing for people to see. Whoop, it is noon. Make some for April Fools. Make the puzzle mugs. So these are going to have a little, you know, lip spout, and then we'll cut like sections out. Like, I'm not going to do it right now, but we'll cut out like sections down to the bottom here. So you'll just have two sections where you can sit a sponge in there, and it'll stand up and drain. Crystal Wolf, hey, good afternoon. Crystal Wolf? You have pictures from your cosplay last weekend? Yes. You can whisper them to me. You can do that. Do you want me to post them in stream? Oh, make a citrus press, like spiral, like a juicer. A juicer. Yeah, I have made juicers before. I've got some at the gallery. I make them with a little little bowl kind of mixing bowl to go with them. Yeah, you could send them to Colleen. Whisper them to Colleen. You just want to show how well the potion bottles worked. Yes. Yeah, I need to tell Moko Maid and all them that I sold out of the potion bottles again. Though this is the last show we would have had them at anyway, so that's good, but I probably will need to get some more just to have in case somebody orders them online. We do have 2 more shows, so I might make some more, but yeah, I'll make some more. They sell everywhere. Does that mean I need more leather? Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I sell the potion bottles everywhere, but I don't know that I would, like, need it right away. I'm not going to do that to him again. Okay, let's do 1 more of these, and then I'll do some of the soap dishes. How good is the insulation capability of double-walled ceramic? If you can do double-walled, like a double-walled mug or whatever, if you can do it, like, it would work really well. It's just, like, super complicated. It's and thick. I've seen somebody who's been able to slip cast a double-walled vessel. But it's, well, just like a double-walled, like, big metal tumbler, it takes up a lot of room for very little, you know, actual beverage holding capabilities. This is just a double wall because I'm pulling 2 different walls. You know, it's not like insulated or anything. Oh, make a big mug and a small mug and merge them while they're wet. You know, you can do that. You would want to make sure that, you know, everything is even. But think about it. That's 2 mugs. Think about how heavy that's going to be and how big. And I mean, big, maybe not as big as, like, bigger than a regular mug, but it's going to be heavy. And so there's a give and take there. How much do you want it insulated versus how much do you want it, you know, how much do you want it to weigh? In theory, yes, that's how it's done. And that's why a lot of the double-walled insulated things are made out of really thin metal or plastic. Well, ordering some now when I don't need them is better. Like, it's better than what I normally do, isn't it? Yeah, we probably should. With a stress to him that, like, it's not urgent. So this is the soap dish. Would also significantly add to the drying time, yes, because it would take longer to dry because it's just it's got some enclosed spaces, and it might even be like worth like just poking a hole in it somewhere, because whatever little hole you poke is gonna be covered with glaze. So I don't think that would cause any cracks. So this is the same, a similar idea. We are putting a little spout on it here. I'm going to poke some holes in this top area to let water drain out, and poke one right here to let water drain out through the spout. But this is for bar soap. You put your bar soap on it, let it drain, just like with the sponge, because a lot of handmade soaps, especially if you get them wet, pretty much any soap, if you get it wet, it's going to dissolve. If it sits in water, it's going to dissolve. So this lets your handmade soaps last a little bit longer. Did I cut it off? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, air is not what causes things to explode, it's the moisture. So just because something has an air bubble doesn't necessarily mean it's going to like crack or blow up. But if something has a little bit of moisture in it, the moisture is going to quickly expand and cause something to pop. Crystal Wolf, I did. I've got to like look at my Discord. I've got to open it up because I did not open it up yet. So let me get it. So you sent it, you didn't whisper it, you just sent it in Discord? Okay, I don't see it yet. Okay, let me get this one going. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we have a 2-minute ad going on, so let's see if I can find this. Nope. I don't see it. This is why I prefer to have it whispered or to have it sent to a mod. Is Kiba still over there passed out? He's still supervising. Okay, so I want to do like 10 and 10 of each of these. So I've got 10 of the sponge, and I'll need 7 more of the soap dish. And I may make some more, so with this size, I need to make some more of the mini mixing bowls. Oh, Spook. Neil missed you while you were gone. She curled up under the blankets with you last night and licked your chin. Aw. I know, my cats have not been as mad at me as I thought they would be. I actually got some cuddles last night. You know what? I wonder if I'm signed in as Wonder Hamster on Discord instead of Play in the Mud. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing him. All right, so we got that. Let me move this out of the way. So here I've got another board. So that's what I've made so far. I can find another one. It's in use. Do we have 3 of these? It's like I thought we had 3 of those long boards. I don't see the third one. You'll clear off the spoon rest over here. Maybe it's underneath. Oh, okay, so it's not a link. Gotcha. Spook, your friend taught you to play Magic this weekend. Nice. You have a blue-black commander deck, and you put together a black-green at the pre-release on Friday. Nice. So I did the pre-release as well. That's so I actually got to play some Magic this weekend. I did 2 of the pre-release events, and then 2 just other random things. Like, because it was the other 2 events were Chaos, where they just give you like 6 packs from random sets and put it together. So still mostly new cards to me because I haven't been playing much recently, but. Oh, Colleen, so you wish you could get into these type of card games, but your brain, you think, still hasn't grasped the overall remembering crap you need to know about how the cards affect each other. Yeah. And like anything else, you don't start off with a, combo commander deck. They have a lot of really nice learn to play events, and that's actually what sold out this weekend, which was impressive. And if you wanted to do arena, that's one of the ways I think it's very easy to learn, because you start with a single color, and then you go through and they teach you how to play, and then you add stuff as you go along. But with arena, it spoils you a great deal because it does all the triggering effects for you. So. Which is gentler on my back, standing or sitting? Standing. For me, it is standing. Though when I made the wrong thing. When I was sitting, I sat on a yoga ball instead of just a stool, and that helped me a great deal. But I was sitting for such long periods of time, it kind of messed up my hips a little bit, so I prefer standing. And with this, I do move around a little bit more. I'm not just standing in one spot. But no, I do prefer to stand. Oh yeah, moved it over here. Get it away from the cat. Spook, you had to play a round of the tournament at the pre-release. You had 2 days of experience with a deck made in 10 minutes, and you did okay, but still lost. Yeah, well, that's the fun of a pre-release to me. It's like everybody gets these cards. You can't bring anything else in. Everybody's on the same playing field. Some people may have seen some of the cards art before, but nobody's like made decks with them before. So that's one reason I like limited. I did like 2 events, and I went 50-50. I won about as many as I lost, which I was just happy to be there. Oh, Sin City, you're weary of both because for lack of a better term, you dislocated your back a few years back. Whoa. And standing can be a challenge, but I'm sure sitting and leaning over is just as much of a challenge. Yeah. There is, so there's sitting and there's standing like I'm doing. I've also seen people, like, with their, like, put your back to a wall, or your back have something, like, put to rest your lower back against, because that's where we all end up hurting, right? Lower back. And so you're kind of leaning back and doing this, whereas I am putting my weight towards the wheel and leaning forward. And sometimes if I do it a certain way, I will feel twinges in my back. But for the most, but I can catch myself. But it's different than like sitting, because I would be sitting for a while and then it would almost be hard to get up. And which I thought was my back hurting, but it ended up being my hips. So got that figured out. But yeah, there's definitely some lower back twinges occasionally. You did ceramics in college while you were teaching drawing part-time, and you miss it, but you're not sure if you can do so comfortably. Yeah. Say you're far better at teaching art than making it most days, but you take pride in that. Yes, no, that is a very special ability in itself, because I realized that, like, after I had been, when we got the building, I thought, I'm going to teach because I've got the space to now. People had asked me about it for a long time, but it, something that as messy as this, it takes a little bit of a dedicated space for. And I thought I would teach and it would be great, and I realized how much, like, that I didn't know how to start over. I had gotten to the point where I didn't know how to tell somebody how to do it from the beginning, and so it took me a while. That's actually something that Twitch had helped me with a great deal, because people would ask questions and I had to think about, okay, this is why I do this. I remember that this is how I start to do it, and then you can become more efficient at it later. But yeah, no, so like, teaching is something that I don't feel like I've ever been all that great at. So I greatly respect anybody who does it and who enjoys it. Yes, Book, we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. You. Paul, hey! It's an apocalypse raid. Hey, how are you doing? Welcome, everybody. Oh, I think this is going to be a spoon rest. I think this one's going to be a spoon rest. If we've got enough clay here to let it be a spoon rest. Let's see, here we go. Just even that out a little bit. Well, good morning. It's been a while. Yeah. Well, we just got back from TwitchCon, and I will say some people remembered you from last year. I had a lady stop by and said that she has one of the little cats that you made on her computer next to her every day. Oh, Crystal, thank you. Okay, you've got to just give me access to see it. Alright, this is going to be a spoon rest. You know what, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just make it a, one of the little dishes for my plant pots, because I need some of those too. That's what I'll just keep it that. I won't give it a little lip. TwitchCon San Diego. No, it was last weekend. This year it was in September. Next year it's in October again. But this year it was in September, which I liked a lot better. There it is. Oh, that looks great. And it matches your tie. That's perfect. You know what? It was much better than last year. Much better. There were people there. There were people that stayed there the entire weekend. We had a really good flow of people coming through the entire time. No, it was good. There were and it's what I was telling a lot of people and we were talking about. It's like I saw a great deal more community badges this year than I ever saw last year. There was just more for people to come and do and just see, not just for, partners. It wasn't just all about like people trying to stream. It was people coming to see and enjoy things they had seen on Twitch. So all right, this one turned out a little bit better. Okay, one more of these. You were doing some consulting in Salt Lake City? Oh. So what were you streaming today, Paul? How's the retail location? It is good. Like right now, like spring to fall is our busy time. It's right now it's a really good time. So this one will work. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering. It's not going to be like super even. I can trim some of that off. But it's a soap dish. It doesn't need to be super even. Birthday stream! Happy birthday! Toot toot! I'll have to check that out. I assume Toot Toot was a commission. Daniel never did start the Dresden Files. He took the book with him. He took the audiobooks with him, thinking he would listen to them, but I don't think he ever started them. All right, so we've got those. I'm gonna make a couple of, like 5 of the mini mixing bowls. So this is regular bowl. I am going to give it a little spout. Kind of a chunky spout too, because it's a mini mixing bowl. Think about making things like omelets. I think on the website it's called an omelet bowl, or little kind of like whisking your wet ingredients for doing baking or salad dressings or whatever. You had a last minute Tonight Show job. Ooh. So Paul, has business, like the Tonight Show job, has that business kind of picked up since with the strikes being over and such? Or is that always kind of hit or miss? Well, Crystal Wolf, thanks for hanging out with us during your break. Well, yeah, you can't tell us about it. Tomorrow night? There we go. You got to do something for Wolverine and Deadpool. So nice. Like for the movie itself or just like a promo? Oh, they did a human claw machine with Hugh Jackman, and you made Deadpool and Wolverine plushies. That's awesome. Gotta remember what I'm making. I almost started making a another sponge holder. So I'm gonna do 5 of these, and then figure out what I'm doing next. Maybe some more spoon rests. Fill up this board. Or no, I said I need to make the little small bowls too, so I need to do those. Oh, that's awesome! You had to hand deliver them, and there were 7 pieces total. They gave you 3 whole days to design patterns and make all the plushies. Whew. Yeah, it's probably because they probably like do the skits. What they maybe give everybody like a week to do their skits or whatever. Like how far ahead do they plan things, if at all? Two full-sized automated horse heads. Are they gonna sing Mr. Ed? A horse is a horse, of course, of course. Alright, I got 5 of these. I've got 10 spaces left, or I got 10 pieces left. So I could make 10 mugs. Trying to think if there's anything else I could do with that amount of clay, but that's it. So I'm going to do 10 20-ounce mugs. I'm going to do some round mugs because I've got a couple of orders for my cauldron mugs. Because that's something, I took the cauldron mugs to TwitchCon, and when we sold, I think, all but one of them. So that was the rest of them I had made. And I've got a couple of custom orders. So I'll probably make all these cauldrons and then... Or I'll make them all round, because I don't have any space balls either, so we'll just have an assortment of the round ones. Well, I think I usually make them a little bit bigger than this. Let's do this. Let's try this again. Have to get back into the groove of things. I think I need to make them a little bit taller. There we go. Usually give them a little bit thicker of a rim. There's Minnie. Here we go. Hey, Charlie. Good afternoon. This looks satisfying to watch. Well, I hope it is. It's very relaxing for me to do. I have a lot of people say it's very relaxing and mesmerizing to watch. What's the same when you're doing it. And Gothy, thank you for the follow. We are multi-streaming, so whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, welcome. Right now, I am making mugs that are going to be cauldrons. Or at least most of these are going to be cauldrons. We may do some of them, may make one or two of them Spaceballs mugs. Telemarketer Monday. Tuesday. Telemarketer Tuesday. There we go. I know what day it is. I promise. I see a little what I think is an air bubble, and I just want to make sure if it is, it may just be a chunk of clay. So. Grandma Hoodie, thank you for the follow as well. And good afternoon, everybody. I've been doing a little bit of everything. I started a kiln this morning, so I streamed loading of the kiln. And then I'm just using up the clay that I have here. Goobers? Whoa, what are you having for lunch? So now I'm working on throwing some mugs. These are a specific shape of mug that I've been making. I made some cauldron mugs, kind of Halloween themed cauldrons. And we've sold them. So I need to make some more. So we've got 2 more shows before Halloween. Ooh, ravioli. And so I've taken some custom orders for a couple of the cauldron mugs, so I needed to make some for that, if nothing else, but I'm restocking a little bit. So they say things like, we had medallions for them like Witch's Brew and 100% that witch. Which you can actually see on the website. We got them the listings up, which is how I've gotten some custom orders. And I'm making the outside of them black and then putting a different color on the inside, so I've enjoyed that little pop of color. So Charlie, did I make all of those in the back? So these, yes, this is my color chart. So these are actually mugs that I made mugs and then cut them in half and then put them on the wall so people can see all the different colors. And actually when I do a wholesale show, I take this with me so that people can see all the different colors without having to make samples of every blessed thing. Belzy, you made a pottery Halloween party on Sunday. You made potion bottles, pumpkins, and ghosts and spiders. Nice. So how did your pumpkins go? So the last time we talked, you were making things, you were making enclosed forms. Went pretty well for our first time. Nice. Goobers, welcome back. Are they going to be a specific color? So the ones that are the cauldrons are going to be black. And then the inside is going to be a different color. And I've got to see what's been ordered, but I've been putting, you know, some of the solid colors on the inside, like red or green or blue or purple, depending on which one I was making. And so I like that. I like that pop of color on the inside. But they will have the medallions on them. So like I said, some of them will say... the ones that were the most popular were the Witch's Brew and the 100% That Witch. And I did one with Polyjuice Potion on it, so I might do that one again. You need to practice, Belzy, because you remembered vaguely how I did my pumpkins, and you tried to do that for making the pumpkin ribs. Yeah. I'd love to see how they turned out. So how long did it take me to learn this skill? Well, that's a hard question to answer because I feel like I'm still learning. You know, I think if I ever claim to stop learning, then I have stopped. But I took my first class 20 years ago. And so I can't say I've been making really good stuff ever since, but I've been doing this full time now for 12 years. Ooh. Let's try that again. Here we go. So while we were at TwitchCon, there was, I'd say it was about 50-50. A lot of people said, oh yeah, I've seen this before on Twitch. Or some people were like, you know, very surprised. Oh, this is what you stream? Wow. And some people recognized us. I was actually surprised at how many people recognized the pottery or us or the artwork from DragonCon. Like, I would have people come up and say, do you stream this? Do you make videos? And they're like, I knew I seen you. I knew I recognized you. I knew I'd seen you somewhere. And so that was kind of a good feeling. Make it look effortless. Yeah, thank you. See if I could compress this a little bit without collapsing the whole thing, because I wanted it to be more rounded. Heading out. Just watch your step over there, because there's cords and cameras and Kiba in the middle. Hold on. There we go. Ooh, Kiba and his tail flop. Yeah, Colleen, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. So if I mess up, can I recycle the clay? Yes, yes. So all the little scraps I've been like trimming off as I go, I'm putting in my scrap pile. And yeah, if something flops over on the wheel, I just, it's too wet to use right away, but I let it dry out a bit and then I'll use it tomorrow. I've got a mixer called a pug mill, and it's basically just a big auger where we can remix the clay back together and mix fresh with scraps. We do quite a bit of reclaim because even if something is dry and it breaks, like you can still rehydrate it and use it again. It just takes a little bit longer. So really there's very little waste when it comes to the process before it's fired. But after it's been fired, there's not much you can do with it. Sometimes if pieces break, I may use them as a test tile, but really it's just trash. I did have somebody come in one time and ask for broken or bisque, pieces like that, and they wanted to break them up and use them as gravel or drainage in their garden. There we go. You don't think clay drains water very well? Well, actually, I mean, it works as good as gravel, you know, when you're talking about like a French drain. So it actually does. So what people use a lot of things for, that's one reason you see red earthenware clay being used for flower pots, is because it is porous. And if you use the porous, like bisque-fired clay pieces, it will filter the water, so it's like a slow drain. There's a word for it, and I don't know what it is, but like I've seen people, if nothing else, make a cone out of clay, bisque fire it, or use a really low fired clay, and you stick that into the ground and fill it with water, and it's going to slowly seep out. And that's why you don't see a lot of, like, it's not usually good to make like coffee mugs out of a low fired clay body, because it's just going to slowly seep out. Ola, yes, yes. Yeah, Goobers, thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day. Ad, you got home from TwitchCon and immediately washed your new mug. Yay! And here I am making some more. Kiba's over there supervising the kiln right now because we loaded up a kiln. Well, I'm glad everybody and everything made it home safely. Belzy, you made like one in the shape of a turnip, or one for turnips? Yeah, and people have used, like I said, people have used like even fired broken pots. You can use like break them up, and it's basically the same thing as using gravel. It's in the shape of a turnip. Half purple and half beige. There you go. The pot buried in the ground for irrigation is called the Ola. Yep. And what is it? I think I've talked with someone else about it. What is it? An orchid pot? Is that the flower that needs to be watered differently? Like you have so if I were to take a bisque pot that's very porous, like a bowl, you would have your flour and your dirt and everything in that. and then you'd set it inside of another pot that was just had water in it, and it would slowly consistently water it. All right, I've got those. I think I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to get some lunch and then figure out what I'm doing for the rest of the day. Changeling Chain, hello, how are you doing? Let's get some water. Kisa, that's how you might be able to keep your plants alive, yeah. So you don't have to constantly water them, yeah. So Kiba's over at the kiln. We started the this morning by loading up my bisque kiln. And we've got it running. I'm going to check and make sure it's doing okay. And then Kiba's there. He's been faithfully guarding it with his eyes closed all day. Hey, Arnia. We survived TwitchCon. No, you need to see about getting a booth next year. They didn't give me any warning for that one, for the ad. Oh well, I know we're in an ad right now. But yeah, no, this was the biggest artist alley they'd had in TwitchCon. They and really their the requirement is that you stream what you're doing. They require that, which in the past they haven't. So it's a really good requirement to have that way. Like people that like don't stream but want to sell something can buy space on the floor, but to be an artist alley you have to be a streamer that makes stuff on Twitch. And but they I think they could use a bit more diversity as well. Like they, you know, it's 95% illustrators. There was a glass blower there this year. There was me, and then there was someone doing some like wood turning that was there, and there was a painter who did actual paintings with paint, not digital art. And then there was someone who did prints but did wood block printing. So that was good. I am actually going to see who else is on right now. Seeing who all's on right now. It's usually just when I'm just getting started. Oh, and Kiba's gone. Because I timed it just right. This is something I've not seen on here before. Has anybody like ever watched Kiartissa, the goldsmith? Goldsmith at work? Or do they normally, they do all kinds of jewelry. Wow. Yeah, let's go see what they're doing. Roxy, I know you got here just in time to see Kiba leave. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for helping me get a little bit of work done today. We've loaded up a kiln and thrown a few things. What did we get? 10, 15, 25, 35, 36? It's not too bad. I'll try to do better tomorrow. But I may figure out what else I'm going to throw. I've only got a little bit of time to throw some more things for the next show, so I'll decide on what I need to make still. I've got to make some lists. But I will be back tomorrow, either making more things or starting some glazes. So again, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for everybody stopping by who I also got to see in person this weekend at TwitchCon. So I'm glad everybody likes their mugs and that everything made it home safely. So here we go. We're going to go see goldsmithing from Kiartissa. And it looks like they are working on a cat. So what could be better? Here we go. So have a good afternoon, everybody, and I will see y'all later.